Welcome to day 2 of the Spanish Nerd Workbook. We're going to start off today by looking at this vocabulary chart. And as I said in the last vocab video, don't expect a video for every vocabulary table, but this one is an important one, so we will talk about this one and then we will get into some verbs. But let's take a look at this vocabulary table right here. The most important words on this are the first 3. In all reality, you need to learn all of these because all of these are building blocks for the future. These are all important words and they're here for a reason. But the first 3 words are going to become your best friends if you are doing it right. And that's what I'm here for, to help you do it right. So the first 3 words in English would be talk, to talk or to speak. Then we have to eat, and then we have to live. The first word, hablar. Hablar. Just by itself like that, no changes, means to talk or to speak. Then we have comer. Comer, just by itself like that, no changes, means to eat. And then vivir, just like that, means to live. These words, you will be using them as example words from now until you just completely have mastery over the Spanish language, okay? So try to memorize these. One help that you do have is in the third one, there is a cognate there. And maybe you can find cognates where I haven't. I've invested hundreds, if not thousands of hours finding cognates, and these are ones that I found, but you might find some other ones. So if you find some, please leave them in the comments. But we have on the third word there, vivir. Notice, vivir shares the root word with vivid and revive. Notice that. VIV, 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 all across the board there. Think about the concept of vivid. When something is vivid, it comes alive. When you revive something, it once was not living or animated, but you bring it back to life. So conceptually, it's very similar to the meaning to live. Now, in terms of hablar and comer, the first 2 there, maybe make some memory aids. Actually, now that I think about it, you already have one for the word comer. Remember? Eat the comb, Ed. We had that on day 1's lesson as an example. If you like that one, keep it. If you find something else that works better for you as a memory aid, make a memory aid. But stick to trying to do memory aids as much as possible. It's going to help you. Okay, so we have those 3 words. A couple things that we want to talk about here. Let's just, since this is still the beginning of the book, let's talk about a little bit more of these cognates. The next word, bien. Bien means good or okay or fine or well, something along those lines. You know, you might can find some other meanings depending on context, but as a generalization, it's going to have one of those meanings. But notice it has the same root as benefit, benign, benevolent. You see that? B-E-N. Now, it's not exactly as bien, B-I-E-N. Over the course of history, languages change, evolve, and adapt and things, but it's very similar. And notice, what are the meanings of these words? Benefit, benign, benevolent. Don't they all have something to do with it being good? Now, let's contrast that with the next one, mal. Mal means bad, and it can mean some other things too, but as a generalization, it means bad. And whatever other meaning it might have, sometimes due to context, it's still going to be very related to bad, or usually be a synonym of bad. Notice it has the same root as malignant, malicious, malice. M-A-L. The entire Spanish word is in words that we already know, and look at that. They're very similar, because what does malignant, malicious, and malice all have in common? Something bad. If it's malignant, it's not good. If it's malicious, it's not good. If it's malice, it's not good. These are not the only ones. There's other ones. Malpractice. You could probably find even more, but three is plenty good enough for the examples here. Remember what I said before about these cognate words? These words that share similar roots, similar meanings. It's better to have some kind of connection with something that you're familiar with than having no connection at all. Okay, so a few more words here. We have mucho, we have poco, it means many, and then little. We have un and una, it means a or an. A car, a house, etc. like that. Memorize these. Then we have the words that and this. And in Spanish, that would either be eso, ese, esa. This would be esto, este, esta. Now, this tends to be something that learners kind of let themselves get a little bit of a mental block about. They worry about this a lot. Don't worry too much about this. How about in the beginning, stick to the ones that end in a O, okay? Just pay attention to how they will change with the ending depending on if the word that it's referring to is a masculine word or feminine word. But remember, that's a little bit of fluff. That's stuff that your ear is going to learn. Your brain is wonderful. It's magnificent. It is one of the most amazing things on this earth is your brain. Your brain will absorb that as you hear Spanish. So don't get caught up worrying too much about it. Just make some memory aids to remember what the word, how to say that and this in Spanish, and stick to the one with the O for now. And as time goes on, little by little, just don't forget about this, okay? Just be cognizant of it. Be aware of it, okay? Now, are you ready to learn how to use Spanish verbs in an easy and practical way? It says there in the book. That is what we will talk about in the next tutorial video. See you in that one.